What's the most inaccurate thing your child has ever been taught in school? Last week, my daughter Emma came home from school absolutely heartbroken. Tears in her eyes, clutching her empty backpack. She told me her science teacher made her stand up in front of the entire class and repeat, "Blood in veins is blue until it hits oxygen," over and over, while everyone laughed. Emma's wanted to be a doctor since she was 6. Her room, covered in anatomy posters. She saves her allowance for medical books instead of toys. And for her last birthday, her grandmother, who's a retired surgeon, gave her a real stethoscope. Emma carries it everywhere like it's a treasure. So when her class started learning about the circulatory system, she was over the moon until Mrs. Winters, her science teacher, stood in front of the class one day and said, "Blood is blue inside your veins. When it hits oxygen, it turns red." Emma, trying to be polite, raised her hand and said, "Actually, blood is always red. It's just darker without oxygen. And veins look blue because of how light passes through the skin." But Mrs. Winters didn't take it well. She snapped, "That's wrong. I've been teaching this for 15 years. Whatever you read on the internet doesn't compare to my degree." When Emma mentioned her grandmother's medical textbooks, Mrs. Winters rolled her eyes and said, "Well, bring it in tomorrow. We'll see who's right." So she did. Emma carefully bookmarked the exact page in her grandmother's old med school textbook. But instead of reading it, Mrs. Winters took it away and called it inappropriate. And then in front of the class, she made Emma repeat the false claim out loud, while kids giggled. As punishment, she even gave her detention for challenging authority. Emma came home crushed, and without the textbook. I was livid. I emailed Mrs. Winters immediately, asking for the book back. Her response? "I don't need medical lessons from a child or her parent. The curriculum says blood is blue in veins, and that's what I teach." That's when I remembered. My old college roommate is now a hematologist. I told her what happened, and she was horrified. 3 days later, I walked into Emma's classroom during science period, with not one, but 2 guests. My roommate, Dr. Chen, and Emma's grandmother, Dr. Reynolds, still wearing her surgical scrubs. Mrs. Winters looked annoyed, until I introduced them. We explained we wanted to do a short demonstration on blood color. 30 curious students were watching, so she had no choice but to say yes. Dr. Chen pricked her own finger and showed the class. Even without oxygen, blood is still red, just a darker shade. Then Dr. Reynolds explained the science behind why veins look blue. It's all about how light travels through skin, not the actual color of the blood. Mrs. Winters tried to argue, but Dr. Chen opened the class textbook and pointed to the small print below the diagram. Coloring is for illustrative purposes only. The principal walked in just as Dr. Reynolds mentioned the confiscated textbook. Mrs. Winters looked cornered and finally pulled it out of a locked cabinet. Emma's eyes lit up when her grandmother handed it back with a handwritten note inside, "To my granddaughter Emma, your dedication to truth will make you an extraordinary doctor someday." To top it off, we connected the class to a live surgical team via video call so they could see real-time footage of blood flowing through veins, still red. The following week, the school board announced a full review of the science curriculum. Mrs. Winters, required to attend updated training. Emma, invited to a mentorship program at the university hospital. And that med school textbook? It's now on display in the school library, with a plaque that reads, "A reminder that curiosity and facts should always be encouraged, even when they come from students."